everyone. I am Prashant Kavle. Welcome to the class of Mechatronics. So, I am working as an assistant professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering of Kekewak Institute of Engineering Education Research, Nasik. So, this is our college vision mission. Left hand side and right hand side, this is the vision of a department and mission of the department. So today session is first we have to deal with the unit number 2. The name of this unit is block diagram representation for the mechatronic system. In that we'll go for applications of mechatronic system. So basically this subject is a mechatronics, belongs to class 3rd year mechanical. So as per the syllabus content, this is the syllabus for the unit number 2, block diagram representation, it's a name. Then introduction to the mechatronic system design, in identification of key elements of mechatronic system and represent them in a block diagram for understanding purpose. Then open and closed loop control system, concepts of transfer function, block diagram and reduction principle, and finally applications of mechatronics system for 3 area: household, automotive and industrial shop floor. This is exactly the bird eye view of unit number 2. So what is the learning objective of this session? So first of all, understand the mechatronic system and represent in a block diagram how. Understand open and closed loop control system and study the applications of mechatronic system, household, automotive and industrial shop floor. Let's start. So far, what is a broader level concept of the mechatronic system? So first of all, if you see, so and everything start in the mechatronic system, it's a sensor. So what is the function of sensor? Perceive with the environment, at the same time give feedback to the control system. So first layer it comes about the sensor. Then this data is captured and by the controller, and as per the algorithm stored, it makes the decision, and this necessary action signal is given to the actuator and actuator takes the action. So this is exactly the working of any kind of mechatronic system. Basically sensor, controller, actuator, these are the 3 layers of any mechatronic system. So what are the minimum elements of any mechatronic system? So first of all, if you see, it should have some kind of hardware. So in hardware it is known as the mechanical systems. So actuator is one block and sensor is another block. Sensors perceive the environment, send the data to the input signal conditioning element. This will do the conversion and send it to the controller. Controller takes necessary action and output signal conditioner send this signal to the actuator. Actuators will be do needful, and thus this is the system work. And there is a graphical display is also provided for HMI, human machine interface. What is a block diagram? A block diagram is a graphical representation of a system, mechatronic system. it provides a functional view of a system. Block diagram gives us a better understanding of a system functions and helps to create interconnection within the units, how they work, how they communicate. For example, in broader level, if you take any kind of system, say central bank, it's a one kind of a system. It has an input, it has an output. So its output is given to whom? Economy. So economy, it's a one kind of process, and its input, whether repo rate will increase or decrease, and according to that economy gives you the output, and that output will be measured and it is again given back. So entire country's economy will be governed by some institution. So this is exactly the representation of any system in terms of block diagram. So we come to know what is exactly the functional view, what are the interconnections, what are the elements of this system. Now we'll move in a closer thing in terms of a small system. So this is an example, a heating element for a building. So there is a controller and there is a heater, and it sends some useful thing for the building. For example, it heats the building. So how to control the temperature, how to control this flow, entire thing as per the required thing. So this is exactly the block diagram representation. So it is a graphical representation how the elements are interconnected, what is their function, what is their sequence. So this is very important thing. So control system which provides the desired response by controlling the output. So a rectangle, control system, input and output. Simple block diagram for control system. Hence control system represented by a single block, since the output is controlled by a varying input. Example, traffic control system, washing machines, n number of systems are available there. Based on some parameters, we can classify control system into following ways. Continuous time. So continuous time means, take an example of power plants, coal based power plant or thermal based power plant. So they have continuous working 24 into 7 365. So we have to control the RPM of a generator which is coupled to the steam generator, steam turbines. Then discrete control such as in terms of manufacturing, batch production, bottle filling plants. Okay. Next, based on the number of inputs and output represent CISO, single input, single output. Example, just take the example of oven which has a single input and single output. MIMO, multiple input, multiple output. Elevator, so elevator can be called in third floor, fourth floor. Inside there are some people which want to go different floors, so at same time it has a multiple inputs and multiple outputs, which floor it has to go, whether second, third floor, so according to that. And finally, based on the feedback path, open loop control system and closed loop control system. So in open loop control system, output is not fed back to the input. Just see the block diagram. This is a desired process response, controller output. Then this is controller output to whom? Process input. Processor will do the necessary action and it will give some output. So output is not feedback. So there is a open loop. That's why it is known as open loop. There is no feedback system present. Example, traffic signal control. For example, traffic control of, there are two roads comes and intersect and form the junction. So there are 4 signals. Okay, so once they have set at say signal number 1 for 120 seconds, second 60 minutes, third 90 minutes, fourth 80 second. Okay, then it will never see what is the traffic, it only works, it never see the check the traffic. Okay, that's why it is an open loop. So again, open loop microwave, once you set the timer, we put the bread, and according to that time it will just bake and food will be coming out. So output quality is not given again back to the controller. Washing machine never check what is the quality of the cloth which is coming out, it never checks. So what is open loop? Any control system that operate on time basis are open loop control system. Closed loop output is fed back to the input, so the control action is dependent on the desired output. So just observe this diagram carefully. So three blocks are there: controller, process and feedback. And feedback is given to the error detector. So error detector has a two inputs: input from the environment and feedback signal. So this is known as the error signal. Always controller input is the error signal. According to error, it will do the necessary action as per the algorithm stored, and then it send the actuator signal, and then process will be do needful things. Output is again feedback. So this is will be going continuously, still will achieve to the desired output. So just see, this is the servo motor application. Okay, so DC motor can be converted into servo motor with the help of its output. Rotation can be feedback with the help of position sensor, and it is given to the controller will be then actuating signal will be sent to the DC motor, then according to that it will rotate. So example of antenna positioning system. So this is a closed loop system. Once you set the angle, according to that dish will be governed and it will set to that particular angle. So what is the difference between open loop and closed loop system? These are not reliable. Closed loop are reliable because it never takes the feedback. It is easier to build. It is difficult because again hardware will be included, feedback system will be involved. Calibration is good. They perform accurately. They are accurate because of the feedback, because they works on the error signal. Open loop systems are generally more stable. These are not stable. Stable means, for example, depending upon there is some controllers which can go to the desired output as soon as possible. So we need to provide different types of controlling elements such as a PID. Okay, optimization is not possible in open loop, but optimization is possible in the closed loop system. So now we deals with the application area. First one household, second one automotive, and third one industrial. So household, automatic washing machine, refrigerator. Automotive, there are n number of things in automotive, but we'll deal with the ABS, anti-lock braking system. And industrial shop floor, FMS or conveyor system. So we'll deal with the automatic washing machine. So in front of you it's a top loaded as well as front loaded washing machine, and their cut section. So what is the cut section? There is shows us a rectangular box. In the rectangular box there is a rotating drum. Okay, at rotating drum at the center there is a agitator which is driven by the motor. Okay, and there is a piping system, inlet and outlet, and there are n number of systems are working. Okay, so these are the elements of the washing machine, whether it's a top loading or front loading. Okay, Now just observe this diagram. So any kind of washing machine, it works on some cycles. So there are some process. What is the first process? Water filling in the agitated drum. After that, the dry cloth is wet with the help of soaking process. Soaking. So in that we also put down the washing powder. So what is happen in this process? We increase the temperature. So in hot water, what is happen? The dirt will be removed from the fibers very easily. So this is a soaking process. So it will take some time. After soaking process, for sometimes it will go for washing. So there are n number of washing cycles are there. Quick 30, cotton 30, blanket, heavy applications. So according to that, different washing cycles of different time. After wash, what will happen? We have to drain this soap water which is inside. So draining, again it is rinsing, again clean water comes inside. It will just remove all the soap which is inside the clothes and make them clean. And after that we'll go for the spinning or drying activity with the help of centrifugal force. So these are the things regarding the washing machines. So this is a block diagram representation of any automatic washing machine. So if you see, first of all we have to deal with the control unit. Control unit will be governed by some clock, and inside the control unit there is a program which is set, and this program can be operate with the help of HMI, human machine interface, which is provided, and according to that we are selecting and giving instruction to the control unit. Then control unit will actuate the actuator. So what are the actuators? There are pump which will take the water inside, which will throw the water outside of the drum. Then there are some solenoid valves which will stop the water inside the drum. Then for special applications we want water temperature should be higher, so according to that we'll go. And finally we have to rotate the drum for different RPM, so according to that motor will be run. So these actuations are given to the actuators. Actuator will be do the needful in the washing drum. And washing drum, there are some sensors: water level sensors, water temperature sensor, drum speed sensor, whether the door is closed or not, and these sensors will give the feedback to the control system. So though the internal system is a closed loop, for example if you are not close the door, then that time washing machine will be beep the sound and it will show you that something went wrong. So there is the indicator on the human machine interface that door is not closed properly, close the door. Sometimes there is a human speech also, okay, in terms of Alexa. Okay, so at a different, in spinning we have to maintain the different speed, during the washing we have to maintain the different RPM of it. So according to that we have to control the drum speed. Okay, so these are the block diagram representation of any automatic washing. More than that, but this is a minimum any kind of washing machine. So everybody understood the thing? Now second application, it's a smart refrigerator. Nowadays refrigerator, it's only just for the layman point of view, it's a system which keeps the place temperature below the surrounding. That's it. That is a just a layman point of view definition of a refrigerator. But nowadays we make the refrigerator very smart with the help of sensors, with the help of IoT things, Internet of Things. So in front of you there is a smart refrigerator by a company which is designed by Anil, and according to their idea we are just for Educational purpose, we are just shown this. So just see, you can control with the help of touch panel, or you can control with the applications on your Android phones, and according to that fridge will be operate. So smart refrigerators features a touchscreen interface and ability to connect to the internet through Wi-Fi to provide a number of additional features. Smart refrigerators includes the internal cameras, more flexibles, user control, cooling options, and ability for your interact with the features using smartphone. So some smart refrigerator will be enlist your grocery list also. What is consumed, what is there. Okay, so it will give the reminders on your phone. So this is exactly the how the block diagram representation. So there is a controller which will take the control of the expansions wall as per the need. Some where we require very cold places for the ice making faster, where we place the vegetable, that time we require a low, means not more than the temperature is less, so different temperature can be achieved with the help of controller. So this is exactly the thing. So variable speed refrigeration system are the most common capacity modulation method used for commercial and household purpose. So this is a block diagram representation. Okay. Now we'll move towards the automobile, automotive. So anti-lock braking system. So in anti-lock braking system, what will happen when there is a normal brakes? To brakes are used for safety purpose to control or break the momentum. But what happened due to momentum? If you just press the brake, what happened? There is skidding will be happen, and accident may be taken place, and you may be collide with the objects. So to avoid this thing, anti-locking braking system will be comes into the picture, and it will taken care of avoid the skidding. If suddenly something comes in between the moving object, if you brakes applied, that brakes applied simultaneously, braking also, anti-lock also, locking also, unlocking also. How we'll see. So in front of you a block diagram representation of a ABS. So please see that it is a closed loop system. So we start with the wheel. So say consider the your system is a four-wheeler. So four-wheeler has a four-wheel, and each wheel is rotating at some RPM. This data is captured by whom? There are some speed sensors there, and which captures this data, and this data will send to the control unit, which is convert this data in terms of acceleration, and according to that it will, according to the stored program algorithm, it will actuate the solenoid, and it will apply this solenoid signal or locking unlocking system of a brake. And what is happen? So the skidding will be avoided. So very frequently we can't imagine, with the fraction of second there is a cycles, there is a unlocking locking will be happen. So that can be taken care by this controller. So what is happen? Skidding will be avoided. So how this can be done? Just see this video. So how the ABS is safe than non-ABS. So see, the earlier vehicle don't have the ABS, and when it apply the brakes, it will not control and it will just collide with the system. But due to ABS, what will happen? The proper control of the velocity, and driver will able to control the vehicle without skidding, and it will not collide with the object. So human life will be in safe zone. So what is the purpose? Human life is important one. So everybody understood the thing? So today we'll stop here. So we have seen the two application. One application is remaining, that is the FMS, flexible manufacturing system. So we'll cover in a next section. Okay. So thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, then press the bell icon, never miss the update. Also give the comment. Okay, subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.